In today's video, we are going to be talking about classic British style and how you can incorporate it into your wardrobe. We'll be talking about the elements of this classic British style and also talking about some iconic British fashion garments. But before we get right into it, hello if you're new on this channel. My name is Fab and I make 2 fashion and lifestyle videos every single week. So please make sure you subscribe down below and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. When talking about this quintessential British style, there is one major factor that we really can't ignore, and that is the infamous British weather. It rains a lot. So of course this is going to influence what makes up a British style. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Macintosh jacket, or the Mac. Macs always remind me of Liam Gallagher and Oasis because that man loves a Mac, but they have a very long history. Basically, a Mac jacket is a waterproof jacket. It's made out of a rubberized fabric, and the most famous Mac jacket that comes to mind for me is that classic fisherman's bright yellow jacket. This immediately gives seaside vibes, but I've seen many people style it in a really chic way, and it is such a nod to that classic British style. The next type of coat is a trench coat, and you guys know how much I love a trench. I think they are just a classic style staple, especially for a classic or preppy wardrobe. The trench coat was invented by Thomas Burberry. We all know Burberry, and of course that is a classic British luxury brand. And it was invented in the late 1870s, but really came into prominence in the First World War when the British Army took it on as part of the uniform for their officers. Now, I actually wouldn't consider a trench coat to be waterproof. I would say water repellent, because it's not like a Mac rain jacket where you'll get drops of water on it and it'll just literally slide off. It does soak the water in, but it does keep you dry. Now, to me, a classic trench coat is that traditional khaki or camel color, but of course these days you can get a trench coat in pretty much any color or any pattern that you want. I have 2 trench coats in my wardrobe. They're both from Jack Wills. First off is the classic camel trench, and this is a knee-length trench coat, and this is such a style staple. And then I have a shorter swing jacket style trench coat. This is in navy, obviously. This navy trench in particular has been with me on so many ventures. Now, another essential that you need when it is pouring with rain is appropriate footwear, waterproof footwear, because there is nothing worse on this earth than having wet and cold feet. That happened to me when I was in Boston and it was snowing and my feet got wet and I actually wanted to die. So this is where the classic Wellington boot comes in. Basically, it's a rain boot. And the most iconic Wellington boot brand is, of course, Hunter boots. Hunter boots were first invented in the 1850s in Scotland, but interestingly, by 2 Americans. And they're still a very, very popular rain boot brand today. Similar to the Mac jacket, it is made out of a rubberized fabric, or really it's made out of rubber so that it is waterproof. And the most classic Hunter boots are the black ones, the original tall boots. But then another really popular style is the tall boots in an olive green color. And this olive green color is going to come into play a little bit later in the video. I personally don't actually own a pair of Hunter boots. I've really been wanting to get a pair for a few years now, but I didn't want to go for those classic black ones, not because I don't think they're beautiful, but it's because I already own black boots. So I've been on the lookout for something a bit different, and I have had my eye on these ones. These are the autumn stone color, and I think they're really, really beautiful. I love the look of red boots. Hunter boots do an iconic military red color, which are really, really fun and cute, but I feel like they might be hard to pair a lot. So I feel like this autumn stone color would be really beautiful. I definitely have my eye on them. Now, of course, we have to talk about the British countryside, British country wear. The British countryside is absolutely stunning. It is remarkably beautiful, and there's just so much history there, especially with lovely stately homes. A few elements of the British countryside wear we've talked about, things like Hunter boots, waterproof jackets, obviously essential if you're out in the countryside. But I didn't talk about another iconic British brand, and that is Barbour Jackets. And they make a classic British countryside waxed jacket. A waxed jacket in an olive green color is a really iconic British look, and olive green in particular is a really prominent color in this classic British country style. Just surmising myself, I guess it's got ties to hunting. Having the olive green, you're able to blend in more, so what you're hunting, won't see you. And then the flip side of that, the very cosmopolitan look, for me, it is is a bright military red. I guess I just think of bright red when I think London, cosmopolitan, and obviously that's because of the London buses and, you know, the phone boxes. But then also, you know, Rimmel London, get the London look with the red lipstick. Now, another way to incorporate British country wear into your wardrobe is a bit of equestrian style. I wouldn't go too overboard with this because it can really quickly go into crazy horse girl territory, but I do like to wear a really chic pair of jodhpurs. Jodhpurs are basically horse riding pants. I'm thinking more of that like horse show look, you know, done up jodhpurs can look really, really nice. A classic pair of English riding boots can also really elevate a look. You can get tall ones or short ones. I personally have my black cowboy boots, which immediately gives away like how American I am and where my fashion loyalties lie, I suppose. But a really chic pair of riding boots just makes you look $1,000,000. And then another way to incorporate that equestrian look into your wardrobe is with a down vest. I think they're called gillets in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're gillets, but just a puffy vest, basically. I normally pair a down vest over a white button-up. That always looks really chic and put together. Another thing that you see a lot in this countryside fashion is tweed. And tweed is basically a fabric, it's a woven fabric, and it's used a lot because it's very durable. So you'll see it on a lot of jackets, and also for men, those iconic flat caps. They are menswear, but I'm sure if you're a girl and you want to wear one, like, you should totally go for it. I can totally visualize a cute outfit with a tweed flat cap in my mind. And these tweeds will normally come again in those olive greens and also browns, dark colors. Moving on, I'd like to talk about the sporting influence on British classic style. It's quite interesting because sport often influences fashion. Certainly at the moment in mainstream and streetwear, athleisure is a major thing. And in the UK, soccer and football is a massive sport. So I think that that really influences fashion trends. But then there are also more traditional sports that have definitely influenced classic British style. Cricket is a big one, of course. You've got your classic cricket whites, your cable knit sweater in white with the V. Rugby is an iconic one, rugby jerseys. I'm seeing them come in a big way. There's an American brand called Rowing Blazers who have taken the rugby jersey and made it into a thing, which I think is really funny. And then, of course, there is polo. Polo is a big sport, especially with the royal family. And of course, there is a massive influence of polo on fashion, polo shirts. Hello! And that brand, Rowing Blazers, that I just mentioned, they actually do these cool recreations of famous polo shirts that the royal family have worn, which are really, really interesting and really cool. Now, before I leave you, I do want to talk about some iconic British brands that you'll be able to go and find, and it might be a jumping off point to continue your journey on looking at the classic British style. So a few ones that I have mentioned: Hunter boots, Barbour jackets. I find Barbour really hard to say for some reason. Jack Wills, Burberry, of course, luxury British brand. Dewberry of Ireland, now obviously not British, it's from Ireland, but if you are looking for that countryside look, they do a lot of really beautiful tweed jackets, riding boots even, really, really beautiful things. I don't know how happy the Irish brand would be to include it in this like English, British style, but whatever. Cambridge Satchel Company. I didn't really go into satchel bags, leather satchel bags, because I wasn't really sure where to put them, but they really are an iconic look. They remind me of little school children with their beautiful leather satchels, very like 1940s school children on the train to the countryside fleeing London, you know? I don't know, that's just where my brain goes. But there is a company, Cambridge Satchel Company, that makes the most beautiful satchel bags, so definitely check them out. Liberty London. So Liberty is a really iconic department store in London, and I think they've been around for like 150 years. They also have their own fabrics that they produce, their own patterns. These are really, really beautiful. They're normally florally prints, a bit like the floral of my dress. Really ditzy florally prints, gorgeous. Another brand that does prints is Cath Kidston, and they kind of remind me of a British version of a Vera Bradley or a Lily Pulitzer, in the sense that they have their patterns and their designs, and then they put them on lots of different things. So they do like backpacks, bags, stationery, they do fashion, beautiful sweaters and dresses, all with the different prints on them. They're a little bit more like illustrative though, lots of figures of London and things. And then lastly, an honourable mention is Harrods and an iconic Harrods bag. I know that this is very touristy, and I probably would never see a real Londoner wearing a Harrods bag like this. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is sort of a tourist rite of passage to go to Harrods and get your little Harrods bag. But when I do see them, they just immediately remind me, obviously, of Harrods and of that classic British look. What are the things that you consider to be classic British style, and also what brands do you shop at? Do you think really evoke that classic British style too? Please leave it in the comments section. I read every single comment that I get on my videos, and I love chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.
Oh no, I gave my heart away.